Dee Grant, Director of C Cab Taxis in Blackpool. How are things?
Yeah, they're ticking over. We're still fully operational. Obviously, it's a lot quieter than it used to be, but yeah, we're still up and running.
The government has strongly suggested not using public transport. So how are you ticking all the boxes with this?
We've started to install some PPE screens in all our saloons. The bombers have already got a screen over. So all our saloons and minibuses are having PPE screens fitted, so they are completely separate from the driver. Because obviously our main thing is to protect both the drivers and the customers.
Obviously, it's not just for making journeys, essential journeys to ferry people about. There are other uses for the taxis, I would imagine.
Passenger transport, pickups if they need a prescription picking up, or click and collect if they need something dropping off.
So obviously with all the boxes ticked, safety is paramount.
Yeah, absolutely. And they are. I know some people have mulled over about it, but they are fully insured with the shields on.
How are the drivers feeling at the moment?
They're feeling a lot more confident now that we've sourced these PPE screens, much more confident. We're getting more vehicles out daily.
How are they coping on a daily basis? Do you get much feedback?
At first, they were very nervous about picking anybody up. But now, like I said, the confidence has grown. Like I say, obviously everybody's job counts are lower, but they're out there. All they're interested in is getting people from A to B in the safest way possible.
Are you finding any new ways of generating business in the middle of all this?
Just using social media and stuff like that, We understand that the government are saying about public transport and not using public transport. It's much safer in a taxi because obviously there's a lot fewer people in the taxi. We're not sitting anybody in a front seat. So, and it's only normally families that run in the taxi together. So it's much safer than public transport.
So that social distancing is there between the passengers and the driver?
Absolutely, yeah.
Couple of things that I want to mention, keeping it fairly light-hearted. It's nice to hear that all those safety boxes are being ticked, so that instills confidence in anybody who's thinking of using your services, even though the government are advising against it. But you're saying we're safe, we're ticking all the boxes, so that's great. Do you know one thing, though? I've got to mention your jingle that you have on the radio.
Oh, people love it, don't they?
They do. And do you know what? Do you know what my favourite bit is?
Go on.
When it's getting dark in Moore Park and you need to be in Grange Park.
Yeah, some people have struggled with that one, though.
I love that. Thank you for being on this afternoon. And it's nice to hear that you're still trying to push through in the middle of all this. And we're just hoping that everybody sticks to the same programme and we can get through the other side of it sooner rather than later. Also, can I just ask that question that everybody loves to ask when they get into a taxi? You know what I'm going to say, don't you?
Are you busy?
Have you been busy? And what time do you finish?
Your nightmare. Every taxi driver's nightmare.
Dee Grant, Director of C Cabs in Blackpool. Thanks for chatting to us this afternoon.